Good evening, friends. So, we were talking about construction management, what this course is all about in the last class. It's a fairly generalistic course. We can make it more specific. I'm not going to do it now. If you really want to go through and make it a little more specific, you can go through the equipments which are there, which are part of construction activities. Okay, this is something which is not been done till now. You've got a construction materials and probably a construction techniques. However, I very much doubt if suppose you are having a course on construction equipment. Okay, what are the various equipments which you can use for moving earth, for instance, making a pile, foundation. So, if you are really going through it, you may be also keen on trying to see what is the productivity of these equipment, like how much this one particular equipment can work on. So, again, as I was telling, we'll see a tender first and then we'll go ahead. Okay. So, basically, there are two parts, a tender and a contract. The contract is signed between two parties. Okay, I've got a definition of tender. So, this is the definition or legal definition of tender, a contract. So, it is binding. Contracts are signed normally nowadays. If you're a small term or small time contractor, you will be having everything in an oral agreement. You will only be saying, I'll build your house at 200 rupees per square feet or something like that. You normally don't go too much into the materials and all the specifications, and it's a matter of trust between the two parties. Maybe your uncle is building your house, he will enter into a verbal contract with you. He believes that you will do it. Your father is having a house done. Do you think he is going to hold you liable if suppose something collapses or anything? Mostly they don't. Okay. So, this is where there can be a spoken agreement, or if you are going to work in a company, definitely the company is going to work with a written agreement. No company is wanting to go, they don't take a risk just by going and starting the work. Everybody is good enough to pay money. Okay. So, this is enforceable by law. What do we mean by saying that it's enforceable by law? It means that if suppose something goes wrong in a contract, you can be dragged to court. So many things are there in a contract. So, we'll go through it one by one. What is the need for going into this before we go into the course? We are going through this because all the other things tend to focus upon this particular aspect. Okay, so why are we doing something? It's because there's a contract already signed. For instance, we're talking about the depth of foundation. Why do we want to do a pile in hard rock? We know the area is hard rock. Many times we have seen tender conditions will prevail. That owner has always been going about with pile foundation. He doesn't want any other method. So, suppose you again look, there's something called socketing length. Socketing length is the length by which you have to make a pile go into the strata, hard strata. So, it may be even up to 5 times. So, 5 times or 20 times or whatever they stipulate, it's there. Okay. So, normally it's about 5 times to something slightly more or slightly lesser, based on how much the contractor is confident in his pile foundations. So, now if you see, if you are going to do a socket which is 5 meters into hard rock with a 1 meter, if you are using a 1 meter diameter pile, it's very difficult. Okay. So, if your soil report is giving you very good results and you are going to tell your company, look, this is different, this is something which you can take a risk. If this one you can do only at the time of signing before entering the contract. Okay. So, this whatever you have before the contract is the tendering stage. Whatever we have before the contract is signed is the tendering stage. So, contract is the written agreement. Tender is whatever is preceding the written agreement is the tender. Okay. So, these are some of the broad stages. Somebody makes an offer and the other person accepts. So, when do you get an offer? You go and buy a motorcycle. What do? You go and say, okay, what is the best discount? All these negotiations happen before you pay the bill. After you decide the model of the bike, are you going to have any negotiation? You don't normally have. So, that is the thing. So then again you got what is known as the specification. So is it going to be a RC construction? Is it going to be bricks made with cement mortar, or are you going to just use mud mortar? Of course, it's a very hypothetical situation, but that's what we call as the specification. Okay. So what are the considerations? What all can be taken into account before we say that this contract is made or this contract is not acceptable? All these are called the considerations which we take. And then there is the legal capacity. Okay, what happens if suppose this contract is not enforced? Is there a penalty? If there is a penalty, have you seen in many of the bills, all this, any dispute is subject to the courts of the city where you buy. Have you seen that bill? Normally they make it. Why do they do that? They do that so that they have a lot of say in that court. Okay, for instance, if I am buying from eBay, do you think I will be really interested to sue a merchant in Bombay? Very difficult, right? So, if suppose you take a contract, so everybody likes to have a comfort zone. Typically, it will be the buyer who has the comfort zone. Okay. So, these are the general, very broad things what you will see if suppose you are going to look into a tender. First and foremost, you are having identification of a need. Okay. For instance, you can hear the jackhammers working. There is a need. What is the need here? We are running out of space, so we need more space. So they are doing some work. So in every job that you see, first and foremost you will be identifying a need. So once you identify the need, you will do whatever it takes to satisfy that. Okay, you will do whatever is required to satisfy that need. So when you identify a need, you will also look at how much you are having the resource to do it. The gentleman in the middle, I want you to you can use your mobile and not disturb. Yes, you, the one who's turning around. But if you are talking with other person, I don't like. I don't mind, like if an individual is going to drag himself down, I have no issue with that. But I don't like people to drag the other person also with him into a negative situation. Okay, yes, I am telling you not to disturb the other, right? So you have to study the requirement in the sense, what is it? For instance, always, I might be again telling you, I'll be going to the power plant situations only. So if suppose you see Tamil Nadu, they say that there is a deficit in power supply. The best thing or the easiest thing which they do is they go for an augmentation of capacity. That means already there is a thermal power plant. What they'll do is they'll try to add one more unit. I'm sure you would have seen this sort of thing happening. The moment you do it, if I am having my own power plant, I have to see what is the investment, and also if I invest the money, when I will get the returns. Okay. Why don't you just think about yourself? Okay. Now I see so many eager people coming to VIT. Okay. Today all category 5, all those people are going for their seats. So they are investing money, a lot of money, right? Don't you see when you are going to make up for all this money? 4 years you have studied in VIT, 3 years, 2 years. So you have 2 years to plan how you are going to make up this money. Same thing happens in any civil engineering project. A lot of money, usually in the order of 200 or 300 crores is being invested. They need to know when they will get this money back and when they will start to make profits. They need to know how the money comes back, because they will have to take a loan. Okay, I am sure that you understand what I say. All of you, many of you might have taken an educational loan. So when you take a loan, the bank sees, oh, he is getting a BTech degree. The moment he goes out, he will be able to pay at least the interest component. That's what they are interested. Nobody wants you to pay the capital. They want you to ensure that they are keeping on paying the interest. So that is what the banks also desire. Is it a bad asset or is it a good asset? If you remember now of late, there is one person who is a lot in the news. Okay, Vijay Mallya. I am sure you know. What is the case which is there? He took a lot of loans. People are very interested to give him loans. But what is the problem? He told after he got the loans, please leave me alone. Don't disturb me. Okay. So this sort of thing is not going to work in any of our civil engineering projects, especially because civil engineering projects are built and they are kept on the ground. Okay. They are all firm. You build a 5-star hotel. Is the 5-star hotel going to walk away? Is it going to go away to Britain after, say, when it's in bad condition? Very difficult, right? So in civil engineering, although the risk might be more, the chances that you get a loan is always very high. However, it may not be that you get your full amount of loan. So when you apply for a loan, the bank wants to know how you will repay it or whether it's going to be a dangerous investment. Okay, take for instance this Kolkata metro failure. Okay, that was a very big failure in the recent days. So what is going to happen? Insurance is going to get a lot of claims, and also the bank, it has already invested a lot of money. Now what is going to happen? Till the all this investigation is happening, nothing is going to materialize. That is, they are not going to get their money, banks. So this is why the requirement is studied, and also they see how they get the money back into the money back to them. So once let us say I have identified a power plant, I want a power plant done. I have found out that money is there, people are going to buy my power. So what I do, I start to get specification. Why do we need specification? If you don't have a proper specification, you can be very sure that something like what happened in the Kolkata metro could happen. Okay, whatever be the reason for the accident in Kolkata metro. Then they float tenders. They say, okay, this is the document, this is what is going to happen. We are going to do so many things. And when you are going through that, you will be having generally three things. A general condition of contract. Then you will have a specific, or for that project they may do some modification. Then you have a commercial aspect also to the contract. When I say commercial, how is the money going to come in? When the money is going to go out from the owner's pocket. So this is basically the thing. See, for instance, one of the things is, suppose you are building a 50-story building. Are you going to wait for the 50th story to be finished before you have the like chief guest come and cut the ribbon? You normally don't. The moment second floor is over, you start to sell or rent out the ground floor properties, right? So if you do that, that is a very good thing. Okay, so these are some of the things which happen. So when I am building a house for you, you may say, please ensure that sufficient safety measures are taken so that at the moment second floor is complete, I can start to rent out my ground floor. You can look at this work which is happening here. Can you see the amount of protection work they have done? They are extending the story. So you just walk over there, see how much of protection work they have taken up. Go to the ground floor, see how they have barricaded the area so that people don't fall victims of something falling from a height. So once I agree with you that I will construct to all the terms which you say, whatever term, however ridiculous it might seem, I will still be willing to do it because I want the job from you. So this is the time when we sign the contract. Okay, all the terms and conditions. In a contract, you cannot say I didn't see that star where conditions apply. Conditions apply, you should be able to see at any point of time. Okay, now I am going to open a CPWD tender and I want to show it to you like what actually happens in a real life contract. Okay.